Many people fear different things. Some things people are afraid of might make us go, huh, you're afraid of what? Here are 16 things people have a phobia of that might make you scratch your head. Avaphobia is the fear of eggs. Alfred Hitchcock suffered from ovophobia. The famous Hollywood director and producer found eggs absolutely revolting. He never tasted one in his entire life. He found it repulsive to see a white ovoid thing with no opening spill yellow liquid from within it. He was so revolted by eggs that he even refused to be around them. Another food that can strike fear in the hearts of people is cheese. The fear of cheese is called turophobia. One woman believes it was an experience with a cheese string that triggered her lifelong terror. She explains, "When I was 6 I ate a cheese string, which was the first time I ever tasted cheese. I instantly threw up in the bin at my friend's house where I was when I ate it. It was a traumatic memory." Her fear of cheese was so bad that in the restaurant where she worked as a waitress, other staff members would have to handle the cheese boards because the smell was too strong, and she washed her hands incessantly if she came in contact with the dairy product. In another case, a man had been fine with eating cheese until a train ride changed everything. He explained how he watched a guy sitting next to him eat a pizza with gross-looking cheese on it. Now he can't even think about or even say the word cheese without thinking about that guy and his disgusting pizza. Ever since, he has been repulsed by all types of cheese. He explains, "I get ticklish inside when I see it. I feel legitimately sick when I see other people eating it." Papyrophobia is the fear of paper. In addition to a fear of dirt and germs, Megan Fox has a fear of paper. On an episode of The Tonight Show, Megan told host Jimmy Fallon that she hates and fears dry paper. When she reads scripts, she keeps a cup of water beside her so that she can dip her fingers in before turning the page. Along the same lines, coulophobia is the fear of newspapers. People who suffer from coulophobia are often revolted or irritated by the texture or smell of newspapers. Some may even find it unbearable to even see or be near one. The fear of clowns is called coulophobia. In addition to a fear of spiders, Johnny Depp has a fear of clowns. When explaining his coulophobia, Johnny said, "Something about the painted face, the fake smile. There always seems to be a darkness lurking just under their surface, a potential for real evil." Other celebrities who suffer from coulophobia are Daniel Radcliffe and Sean P. Diddy Combs. So we probably won't see a clown at a birthday party for Johnny Depp, Daniel Radcliffe or P. Diddy. How about balloons? Not a good idea if the party is for Oprah Winfrey. Globophobia is the fear of balloons. Oprah Winfrey has this phobia and it affected her enjoyment of one of her birthdays. Oprah explained, "I don't like balloons, and for my 40th birthday my entire staff decided to surprise me. I come downstairs and the entire audience is filled with balloons. Literally, I'm stepping over balloons, having to walk through balloons and I'm so, like, oh. When is one going to pop? It reminds me of gunfire, really freaks me out. No way around it, just had to walk through them." Couponophobia is the fear of buttons. People with this phobia tend to avoid clothes with buttons. It must be very hard for them to shop for clothes. Another group that might have problems when purchasing attire is people who have a fear of string. The fear of string is called linonophobia. Most people with linonophobia have no problem wearing regular clothes, but shoes with laces or pronounced stitching may set off their anxiety. The fear of dolls is called pediophobia. Channing Tatum confessed he has this phobia on The Ellen Show. He shared, "I'm terrified of porcelain dolls. I just think they're really super freaky. They have real eyes, and they look real, and I just imagine that when I walk by them, their heads turn with you the whole time." Along the same lines, the fear of human-like figures is called automatonophobia. Damian Lillard of the Portland Trail Blazers acknowledged via Twitter that he's scared of historical statues. The NBA star explained it as due to a bad experience at a wax museum. Trypophobia is the fear of holes. Not big holes that you can fall into, but irregular patterns or clusters of small holes. Some things that can trigger people with trypophobia are pancakes, honeycomb, lotus heads, sponges, even aerated chocolate. One celebrity who struggles with trypophobia is Kendall Jenner. Dextrophobia is the fear of having objects to your right. People who have this phobia will always keep objects to their left. They will do everything in their power to fix what is out of place, but of course this is not always possible, so dextrophobia can be challenging to live with. If there's a phobia of having things to your right, then is there a phobia of having things to your left? There is. The fear of having objects to your left is called globophobia. Hematophobia is the fear of vomiting. In one case, a woman who had hematophobia was specifically afraid of germs, spoiled food, bloody scenes on TV, and gas fumes because they might make her nauseated, resulting in her vomiting. For another woman with hematophobia, things got so bad during her teens that she was diagnosed with an eating disorder because she was so afraid to eat, fearing the risk of vomiting the food back up. The fear of love is called philophobia. Some people think that Queen Elizabeth I is a historical figure who probably had philophobia. Some people say her refusal to marry was a consequence of what happened to her mother Anne Boleyn, who was executed by her husband, Henry VIII, for falling in love with another man. What if you're afraid of being afraid? Is there a phobia of phobias? Yes, there is. The fear of fears is called phobophobia. Phobophobia is interpreted in two ways, either the fear of developing a phobia, or the fear of experiencing the symptoms associated with fear. Phobophobia can be seen as a self-fulfilling prophecy, in that it is one of the only disease fears that can actually lead to the feared outcome. To illustrate, while the fear of cancer does not increase the likelihood of developing cancer, the fear of phobias can lead to a phobia. Hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia is the fear of long words, and comes from the root word sesquipedalion, which means long word, and adds hippopotamus and monster. The combination is intended to make the word very very long, 35 letters long to be exact, to better describe the phobia. Do you have any of these phobias? Comment below and share your experiences. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.